everyone, I'm that local brother. Today, we will be doing part 2 of the 3,000 subscriber special. In this part of the 3,000 subscriber special, we're going to be having steam engines from Sodor race against each other to make it to the top 3 so they can represent their team in the grand finale. And you may be wondering about the guests that appear in this race. Well, I will introduce them soon enough, but I'm sure you'll recognize them right away. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's introduce the contestants now. Our first contestant in this race is Rebecca the Cheerful engine. As her name implies, Rebecca is a very upbeat and positive engine. She is also one of Sodor's express engines. Rebecca may be fairly new to the island of Sodor, but she's more than ready to prove her worth through this race. The next two contestants I'm about to introduce are two of Sodor's absolute finest and fastest. Connor and Caitlin are two sleek, streamlined steam locomotives from the United States of America. These two almost instantly made their mark on Sudrian history when they sped by Gordon and Spencer quite easily. Even if you don't like either of these two locomotives, you cannot deny that they are more than ready to lead Sodor to victory if they win the race. The next engine in this competition is none other than Tornado. Tornado may be the youngest engine in this race, but he's also the first in 60 years to have reached 100 miles an hour in the United Kingdom. Given that he is still very young, Tornado seems to be nowhere near his end, and in fact seems to be more than ready for this race. The next contestant is LNER A3 Flying Scotsman, the very first locomotive in official history to reach 100 miles an hour, which he did in November of 1934. Despite having been around since the year 1923, Flying Scotsman seems more than eager to prove that his age is not going to be his undoing. Gordon is the brother of Flying Scotsman and very distant cousin of Tornado. He is undeniably Sodor's most iconic express engine. That being said, Gordon is more than ready to prove that he is not iconic just because of luck, but because he's actually capable. The other engines better watch out because the express is coming through. Mallard is Flying Scotsman and Gordon's cousin and the sister of Spencer the Silver engine. All you need to know about Mallard is that she has held the record for the highest speed set by a steam locomotive for over 87 years. But let's be completely honest, she is not afraid to break her own record to win this race. Spencer the Silver engine is Mallard's brother and also the cousin of Gordon and Flying Scotsman. Spencer is arguably Sodor's fastest steam locomotive, which is a given because he is Mallard's brother after all. That being said, Spencer is more than ready to win this race and speed across the racetrack like a silver streak. Hiro is a very wise and old engine who arrived on Sodor from Japan many years ago. Hiro may not look like much, but before he was restored to his former glory, he was able to keep an even pace with Spencer while trying to evade him. Now that he seems to be back in his prime, Hiro is more than ready to prove that he can keep an even pace with the faster engines and maybe even surpass them. Last but not least, we have Murdoch the Mighty engine. Murdoch may be much better known for his strength, but he's also a fairly agile and quick engine. In fact, his class is said to be capable of at least 90 miles an hour. Will Murdoch be able to prevail in this race, or should he just stick to pulling heavy loads? Now that we have introduced all of the contestants, let's just get right to it. Now, before we start the video, I would like to make a quick disclaimer. All of the videos on this channel are made for a general audience. My videos are not made for children and never will be. I have always wanted my videos to be enjoyed by anyone of any age, but I have to make it clear that children are not the intended audience. This message will be included in every future video in order to solidify my point, and I will not leave it out for any reason. That being said, enjoy the video. Well, it looks like we've got our contestants for the finale. Representing the real steam locomotives will be Bittern, the Pennsylvania Railroad T1, and the German BR-10 class. Representing Sodor will be Connor, Mallard, and Spencer. Be sure to keep an eye out for part 3 of the 3,000 subscriber special. It'll either be uploaded this week on Friday or the day before, which would be Thursday. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed part 2 of the 3,000 subscriber special, and I hope you're excited for part 3. Take care of yourselves, everyone.